Welcome to Raising Single. My name is Kat. I help elevate single moms from survival mode to healed, confident, and thriving. Today we are talking about the transition period. There is a lot of us who are literally in the middle of a transition season, a changing season, going from one state to the other, hopefully from one bad state to another good state. Growing from one stage to another of life. And there are some of us who are just starting. So this video is all about how to know when you're in a transitional period, okay? Life, spiritual transition, all the good things, and what to do when you're in this transition, when you find yourself having that aha moment and saying, yes, I am in the transition. I have no clue what to do. All right. So that's what this video is all about. So let's get into it. How to know. I'm going to be real with you. I was in my first transition period, for the longest time. We call it walking around the mountain. The same mountain over and over and over and over and over again. The Lord had been trying to get me in a transitional period to prepare me for the next stage of my life, but I continually was stuck in between starting that season of my life and stopping dead in the middle because I just didn't have the tools to know how to get past that self-sabotaging stage that I like to talk about a lot. So the one thing that I recognize when I'm in a transitional season, and even now, okay, let me back up. Right now, I'm in a transition season. I like to call it my stage 2 transition because I've done all the low-hanging fruit. I've healed and have, I want to say pressed on from the negative low-hanging fruit of my life that was keeping me from moving forward. Now I'm in, I call it stage 2, where it's like that, it's still low, but it's not low-hanging, okay? It's the fruit that I didn't, good and bad, right? That I am now realizing is there. I'll kind of explain my analogy about the fruit tree later. But what I'm trying to say is that you're going to have multiple transition seasons in your life, period. That's just how life is. And if you're just starting to realize what that means, there's one thing, clear as day thing that you can count on to tell you you're in a transitional period. You're in a transition season. And you're sick of tired of being sick and tired. Simple as that. This doesn't have to be, woe is me, everything is horrible. It can just be, I'm tired of being in the stage of life that I'm at. I'm tired of, let's real talk. Single mom, okay? Just starting to realize that there's better out there for you and you don't have to be stuck in the ditch and alone and feeling lonely and struggling for your life, literally fighting for your life every single day, right? And now you're realizing, like I did, that there's more out there for you, single or not, right? Just because you're a single mom doesn't mean you have to stay stuck in where you're at. Doesn't mean that you have to continually have issues with relationships. Doesn't mean that you continually have to count the pennies to pay your bills, okay? Or live in a crappy neighborhood, a crappy apartment, a crappy just environment, period. You don't always, you realizing that you're not you're not limited to the crappy job that you're at, right? You want more. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. You literally want more for your life. You want more for your kids. And you see it in the horizon. You see what you want in the horizon, but it's like that lens that's just blurry, right? You see the light, but you don't see what the light is encompassing, all the things that is in that light. You just know it's there. That's what I'm talking about. When you're tired of living in mediocrity, you're tired of living just down and out. You're tired. You want change. You want good change. You want good lasting change. Okay? That is the most common thread of all your transitional seasons. Now, when you get to like level 2, and I can't speak to higher levels because I ain't there, but when you get to your initial first or second transitional season, you'll start learning that like your life has become much better. Okay? You're in this flow, but then the Lord's like, okay, we're going into another transitional season. And so you start looking around, you're like, there's things that I want to still change. There's things that I want to grab a hold of. There are things that still pique my interest, but I still feel like they're evading me. The things, the desires of my heart are evading me. But I now recognize that it's not impossible to obtain, but there is work to be done. Okay? Those are the things. So for me right now, my life is great. I don't have any complaints, but there are things that the Lord has put on my heart to accomplish that I still have not obtained yet. And there are obstacles. There are things that there are hurdles that I need to get over in order to get through this transitional season so I can obtain what my heart desires for the next stage of my life. Okay? The second thing that you'll recognize is that you start seeking answers. Like, it's no longer, like I said, it's no longer woe is me. It's no longer it's their fault. It's you're becoming solution based. You're trying to seek the advice and the direction. And this could look like, I don't know, going on YouTube and asking like a specific question about your situation, your life right now. You're asking people or searching out people that have similarities to what you're going through, and you're asking what have they been doing to get through. Okay? You're becoming action focused and solution focused instead of not. I don't even know what the other word to that is. I'm no longer going to see myself as a victim. Okay? I am going to try to find ways to get out of the situation I'm in and to become a better person. And then it's almost like you have this like, the longer you sit in that kind of like, I want answers, I need direction. What do I do? Right? I want the light. I want what's in the far distance that I can't really figure out, but I know it's there. I want it. But how do I even start? What do I need to do to get there? And then the longer you sit in that, the longer you're going to start developing this like whatever it takes mentality. And I truly believe that as a Christian, like that's like the Lord kind of like wrestling the feathers. Like, come on. I always think like those victory fighting movies where the coach is like, almost like they start coming at the main character, like nagging, almost like trying to rustle their feathers to get them like not angry, like, but like pumped up. Like, this is what you've been waiting for, right? You've been through this, and this. And right now is not the time to give it. Like, it's like that pick me up speech, right? I think that whatever it takes mentality is kind of like God using the reminders of like where you are right now, and using the reminders of and not to like put you down, but like reminding you of this is your life, but this is what you could have if you just get up, like, and start fighting. It's like that whatever it takes mentality where you're just like pumped up, right? Your faith starts growing and you start realizing like, I really can do this. I really can change. I really do want it, right? Instead of saying out of your mouth, I want it, but then your actions completely are doing nothing to promote your growth. Okay. So it's that faith building moment that God pumps you up. Like, he gets you ready to take that first step forward. Okay. And then speaking of God, I think the last thing that you start noticing is your pull toward God. Okay. It's like he finally got your attention. He's finally getting your attention. You've always had his, but your beginning of transitional period is that first step to preparing you. God is literally preparing you for what he has created you to become. You have a final stage. Everybody has a making stage, a building stage, a creation stage, a preparation stage, all of, not in order, but all of that. And then like your final self. And that's where you find the most fulfilling, your most fulfilling life, because you're doing exactly what and how God created you to be. That's the ultimate goal, by the way, of this whole life, of this video. That's the ultimate goal, right? Like, you're starting from point A and you need to get to point Z. Like, your final self is your final, that's the final version of you, right? The best possible version of you. And that's the goal here. You got to remember that. Okay. So you have this pull towards God. It's like you want to get to know him, because you realize that knowing him more fully, knowing his hands, knowing what he can do, but then also knowing his face, who he is, his characteristics. It's almost like looking into the mirror. And I'm not equating us to God, but it's like, it's because the Lord lives in us, right? As Christians, he lives in us. And so it's almost like when you seek his face and you seek his hands and you start connecting him to every part of your life, it's like the mirror starts being more clear. Like, you start seeing yourself more clear as you seek him more. That makes sense. It's like he takes the blinders off your eyes, and you're going to see him more clearly, right? You're going to get to know him on a deeper level, but it just helps you see yourself in a whole new light. And that also increases your faith, because you're like, wow, like, this is how the Lord truly sees me, my true form. And this is the goal. I want to be who he sees me as. So now what do we do? So now that you know what to look out for, my nose is like itching. It always does this. Anyway, now we know what to look out for when you're starting your transitional season, right? And it's literally Google it, like the definition of transition, the definition of change, going from one state to another. Period. So what do we do? This is just based off of my experience, being in the initial transition phase for like all my life, and finally kind of getting out of that. So you make, and I have my notes here just to remind me of what I did, and it really did help actually. You make note of your current situation. This is it's gonna make you cry. Putting on down on paper and like really sitting down in silence and like writing exactly what you're seeing around you and your life right now, it's gonna make you cry, because you're gonna realize that everything bad in your life that you want to change is because of your own stupidity. Okay, let me be real. It's because of your behavior, your actions that have equated to your life right now. And that's the consequences of essentially disobeying the Lord. And it's gonna make you remorseful, because you realize, number one, you wasted time. Number two, the Lord was talking to you, telling you not to do the thing, and you did it anyway, and now you're here. And number three, you realize that it's essentially not over. It's not over. Your story is not over. Okay? It's just beginning. And yes, it's beginning not very well. Okay? But you're realizing that there's no, maybe you can go, it can get worse, right? You can go farther down the loop of destruction. It can be worse. But the fact that you're recognizing where your current state is, it's like this, like, oh crap. like just clarity, okay? You're developing clarity about your situation, and don't tell yourself any lies, please. In this first stage of you writing all your current situation, your current state, and I mean like lifestyle, I mean like relationships, friendships, your family, your finances, okay, your health, all right, your relationship with your kids, how you react, how you respond, like your job, everything. Write down everything. What's the current state of every little piece of your life? Okay? And it's just gonna make it so much clearer. And I know, like, it kind of sucks to open up your eyes and look at all the crap that you're standing on, that you're sitting on, and how did my life get to this point? Okay, it sucks. But you're gonna do number 2. You're going to write down everything you want your life to be. And this is like prayer time, okay? Yes, you write down what your initial like thoughts and feelings and all that is about what do you want your life? Like, if you could have a perfect world and your life was perfect right now, what would that look like? Okay? Describe it. but also prayerfully ask the Lord too, because this is the moment where he's going to reveal to you what your purpose is. And this can take a little bit, but when you ask the Lord, who am I becoming? Who do you want me to be? Who am I? Why did you create me for such a time as this? Questions like that, you're going to get some really big answers from God. Whether you believe them or not, that's beside the point right now. Just write it down, because you will come back, because you will get discouraged, and you're going to want like a reminder of why you're even doing this and why you're even in this transitional season in the first place. And it's, again, going to increase your faith. The Lord's going to show you some stuff. And I'm so, I get excited for this step, because it's exciting. It's exciting to dream and to see a future the way God sees your future, because the word says he wants good for you. He wants to give you a future and a hope. Some translations say a hope and a future. Okay? And if you study that verse, and I don't even know what verse it is. I'll put it in the what is it? The description of this video. If you study that, it's going to blow your mind of how good God is and how much he wants to bless you. And so don't skip this step, please. Really sit, really let your imagination go wild. Obviously, the Lord's not going to make you the most famous drug king ever. And you know what I'm saying? It's like the most stupidest example I could ever even come up with. But you got to align these desires and these goals and what you want for your life. Align them with the Lord, please. Okay, don't be stupid. Okay. Number 3, you're gonna write down why you haven't accomplished what you've wanted to accomplish so far. Remember that feeling of being tired, of being sick and tired? Okay. Why are you still here? That's the question. Why are you still stuck? Why are you still struggling? Why are you still unhealthy? Why are you still pinching dollars? Why are you still robbing Peter to pay Paul? Why are you still with that man that treats you like crap? Why are you still yelling at your kids? Why are you still angry? Why are you still bitter? Why are you still, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not, these are not questions to kind of point the finger at you. These are questions that you really have to ask yourself. Why are you still in the current state that you're in? This is going to help you know what you need to heal from. And I'm going to go into the fruit tree analogy. So imagine you are this huge, luscious fruit tree, and there's fruit literally from the top all the way, full in the middle, on the sides, everything. And they're all the way back down to the bottom. Okay. And the fruit is either bad or good. It's either rotting or just luscious. Okay. Now imagine all your low-hanging fruit on the bottom of that tree, and it's just easy to kind of reach up and pull. There are good fruit, right? There are behaviors and things that you have done that have rendered good consequences, good outcomes. You have grown a fruit out of something positive in your life. Okay? The Lord has gave you your children out of a crappy relationship, okay? Which is why you're single. I mean, the kids, they're a blessing, right? But then you have your bad fruit, okay? And like I said, like you're bitter, you're angry, you're impatient, you're reactive. I don't know. Whatever your the whys of why you're still stuck in this situation, that's the low hanging fruit. The things that you can like rapid fire, like write down. Those are your bad low hanging fruit. That's what's going to be attacked. And it's a good thing. That's what the Lord is going to start trying to snip. Prune. Okay? This transitional period is not rainbows and butterflies. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to make you realize how much you need God, and make you realize how much damage you have done to yourself and to other people around you. And I'm saying this very bluntly because like I don't want to beat around the bush. You know what I'm saying? Like there's enough of that on the internet. Like I want to tell you straight. Okay? When I was in this phase, and by the way, this the pruning of all the bad fruit is called supplication. The Lord is going to start healing you, okay? But when I was going through this initial pruning phase, it was hard, okay? You know how much crying I did? Like, and I felt so bad, so remorseful that like I was such a bad person. And I'm not a bad person, but like I felt like that because the Lord was kind of like shining a light on all the darkness that I was like hiding, okay? That I didn't want to, that I was like in denial about. The Lord was like, no, let's light on. You're seeing all of it, okay? You're seeing what I want you to see in this situation. All the bad low hanging fruit, we got to get rid of it. They're like, I'm not playing around with you anymore, okay? Cry it out. Yes, I know it sucks. Cry. Okay, get in the word. Start praying. Start repenting. Like he doesn't play about you, but he's also not going to be, at least for me, he's not going to be soft and cutesy. Yes, he will remind you that he loves you and that his mercies are great and that he believes in you. And that if you stick with him, you will have the most fulfilling life. But he ain't going to tell you no lies either. He needs you to see the truth about your true, like your true nature. And he wants you to know that you can change, that your life can change, that the trajectory of your life can change for the better. So he's not gonna, be flimsy about this stage, okay? And so the last thing that you want to do is let him in. Like, don't fight him on this, right? Get in your word, pray, cry out to him. Like, let him. He already knows all your feelings and all your thoughts and the true nature of your heart anyway. He's the only one that knows your heart. The only one that knows every little detail about your heart and how you think. Okay? And he's also the only one that won't judge you. If you literally go to him and lay out your heart, like open surgery, he'll look at it and say, okay, these are the things that we need to take out. These are the things that I'm going to heal and mend and do. Okay? So like another analogy is, imagine throughout your childhood and your life, all your traumas and everything of what all the things that happened bad in your life that kind of set you up to where you're at now. Those are like your arrows. Like somebody just like shot at you, right? And the arrows stuck in your side, your arm, your leg, your stomach, and all you did is either cut off the wood part. I think it's called the staff of the arrow, or try to just rip it out yourself. Okay? And imagine these wounds, because you either didn't really fully remove them from your body, or you tried to like tear them out of your body, but you left some pieces of iron or metal or whatever the arrow is made out of. And so your body's trying to heal itself, but it can't. So you're constantly battling with the debilitating limitations of having pieces of arrow stuck in you, or unhealed wounds, right? And so you're like, ow, it hurts, like I want to heal these wounds so bad, because I'm just tired of having to like live with them. But the only person in this village is the Lord, isn't it? Man named Jesus. Okay? Jesus is the only doctor in the village that you can go to. So you finally just like, okay, I gotta do something about these wounds. Like they keep opening. Some of them are still infected. I keep like getting fevers and I can't anymore, right? So you go to Jesus, the doctor, and you're like, I have these wounds, A, B, C, D, and I need you to heal them. And he says, I can do that. And we could do that right now. We could start the process, the surgery right now. But I'm going to tell you one thing, it's going to hurt. I got to open the wound back up. It's kind of closed, or some of them are closed. Some of them are kind of wide open, but I got to get in there. And some of us have been at the doctor's office and the Lord was like, I can do this. I can heal your wounds. And you were so scared of the pain that you were like, never mind. I'll just deal with it. Hopefully they'll heal on their own. I'll live with them. You got to be courageous enough to say, okay, it is what it is. You got to get in there. You got to get all the debris out. You got to mend stuff. It's going to hurt. Okay? But at the end of it, those wounds are going to heal, definitely. They're going to close right up. Jesus is going to tie that final knot, cut the loose string, and say, okay, you're good. Now rest and let everything kind of bind together. And you won't even have scarring, by the way, because Jesus is the ultimate surgeon and he does it like that. But you have to get through the pain. And so this is what this season entails. It's gonna open up wounds that you have been trying to close and deal with this whole time. All of your years. And you're gonna feel pain. You're gonna feel regret. You're gonna feel shame. You're gonna feel guilt. You might even come across unforgiveness. You might even come across anger towards God. You're going to come across bitterness. You're going to come across just feeling unworthy. But at the end of it, those wounds are going to heal because you're going to get all the disease, all the infection out so it can heal. Every debris piece, even the tiniest, you're going to get it out so that you can finally close those wounds / doors and move on to the next stage of your life. That's what these seasons are all about. Going from glory to glory. You can't go from glory here to glory here in one step. You can't do it. It takes steps. And what I'm quickly learning is that the things that have helped me get through the first stage of transition is not what's going to help me pass through the second stage of transition. The Lord told me this weekend, listen, you're going to have to press in a little bit harder. Go in hard this time. Like, focus. What you were able to accomplish and get through in your first season of transition and supplication and healing, it's not gonna, those things that you were able to build in yourself, tap into those because those are your foundation. But I'm requiring you to press in more. This is stage 2. You can't use stage 1 tools for stage 2. You can't. Right? So ultimately, yeah, like change. And it's funny because like it's springtime and springtime is like all the new things, right? But for me personally and for my household and for just what's going on internally and what I'm seeing externally, change is coming. And I either get on the wagon or I don't, and I get left behind. And I feel it so much in my spirit that I have this year to do what the Lord has called me to complete for this year, right? Because he's not going to be like, complete all this. He's given me specific tasks to complete this year by midnight, December 31st, 2026. That's my deadline. And maybe for you, there's an unsettling, not like a bad unsettling feeling, but like an awareness that you have that it's time for change. You're in a season. And so I really do hope that these tips and steps are going to help you in this new season. And I really, y'all don't communicate with me, okay, number one. But I really want to hear your guys' stories. I want to know the people that I'm talking to, the single moms out there that I'm pouring my heart out to encourage you to thrive, to heal, to be confident. And so I really want to know, what are you dealing with right now? Do you know that you're in a transitional change season? Are you in the midst of it? Are you just beginning? Are you at the tail end of it? What have you learned if you're in the tail end of it? What are the testimonies that you can share that personifies God's glory? What has he been teaching you through this journey? I really want to know, because it's going to encourage, and put in the comments, because other single moms will see your comments and it's going to encourage them. It's like the, There's another, oh, what is it? It's almost like the rock that gets thrown into the pond, and it's like the ripple effect. Thank you. The ripple effect, right? We want to encourage each other. As I come up, I want to grab other people and get them up, right? To the next stage. Like we don't want to leave other single moms behind. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not cool. And it's not nice. So I hope that this video challenged you. I hope that what I said really rings true to you, and that you use the tips that I've shared, because it's through living experience that I was able to share them. And once again, thank you for listening and watching this video, and come back next week because I'll have a new one.